air is, of all the elements, air is right there in your name. You can't even, of all the elements, that's the clearest, was air. But then I also saw, hold on a second here, because then I saw sear, and that would be the heat, because I was desperately looking for fire. I'm like, how can I find fire? And there it was, sear. An acorn, the word acorn. You're this beautiful acorn that can just, there's endless potential. It's ridiculous. But that's like that earthy. And then the water is there anyway, because the word corn and can is in your name. Your parents were like really dialed in when they came up with your name.
Canned corn is delicious. I was picturing the water that's in the can of corn.
That's so funny.
Helpful.
I have just ruined everything. Welcome back to another edition of the Pear Genius Podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and with me, right beside me, not even virtually, is Kathy Pauls.
Touch me. You can touch me.
She is in the house. I'm going to get into so much trouble on this episode, I can already tell. So, joining us is a returning guest and our friend Corinne from the Connecting with Corinne podcast.
The Connecting with Corinne.
The Connecting with Corinne podcast.
Not the Connecting?
Whatever. It's Connected with Corinne. Corinne. Doesn't matter.
All right. Isn't that funny? Because that is the theme of the show today.
It really is. Here's what happened. I went on a walk today, and I have thought about you on many walks, mostly because I'm so frustrated because I can't help you figure out things. And I'm like, but this is what I'm good at. I love helping people figure things out. I'm like, why can't I help Corinne figure it out?
Because I'm useless.
No, not even a little bit. So then I had this crazy download come in, and I'm walking, and I'm like, I had to keep stopping. I was getting so hot. Which sometimes happens when I am like in this like channeling state. I'm like, holy smokes. And it was so nice and it was so great. And I'm having this huge conversation. I'm like, how am I going to remember all this? I'm like, okay, we're going to podcast. And it's funny because Alex and I decided we weren't going to do guests anymore. Like, we're going to do season 3, just the two of us. We're not feeling it with the guests have been lovely and everything, but I feel like maybe we're being pulled in a different direction. And then it came in so clear. No, Corinne's coming on the podcast. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's not season 3 yet.
It's not season 3 yet.
So I think that this will be our season 2 wrap up. And Corinne will be that special guest who ends it for all other guests.
For now. But that's the thing. Like, every season we get to try something different, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And actually, it's funny how we wrapped this all up because I was thinking, I'm like, when I started my podcast, you guys were my first guests. And I was like, not necessarily, I don't think your first guest, but I was on there.
I think you were the first guest.
Was I your first guest?
Yeah.
So we're a full circle. First guest, last guest. Circle. Love it.
Nice. So what do you want to get into first?
I kind of want to, maybe I'll get you to tell me what's going on with you. What are you feeling? Are you frustrated somewhere? Are you emotional somewhere? Let's just get the whole backstory of what you're doing right now with your life.
Okay. Mostly I'm in school again. So I did, for those who know or don't know, I did osteo for about 1.5 years, was super frustrated with it about this time last year. And after Christmas, I failed a couple courses, which was fine. But it just got to that point where with school, I would say to them like, okay, how do I redo these courses? And they said, you have to pay like over $900 just to watch videos to retake a test. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. It's expensive. And I thought about it and I was like, I'm not feeling like I felt like for over the 1.5 years, I was treading water and I was like just basically staying afloat, right? Like I felt like it wasn't quite drowning, but close to it. And I had joked with my classmates and I had said, if this goes to shit, which it did, I'm going to go into acupuncture. And fast forward, went to all 3 acupuncture schools in Calgary, talked to the principals, loved them all, and fell in love with the school that I'm in now. And it's been amazing. At the end of October, we did our midterms, and I was joking with people. They're like, how are you loving it? I'm like, I love it. It's been amazing. But I said, ask me after midterms because that will be the litmus test. And I did actually surprisingly very well. Actually, I don't want to say surprisingly because, yeah, as soon as I entered the class and I was with my classmates, I'm like, I am with my people. And the school has made it, they want to set us up for success. And not that osteo didn't, but I feel like osteo really pushed on our nervous system and made us struggle a lot. And I think sometimes unnecessarily. Yes, we have to think on our feet, but I think you need to also help build your students so that you can make them successful. And then when they are in stressful situations, like, oh, I remember this, that, and everything else. Whereas if you're already in a stressful situation, I'm not remembering any of this and I'm trying to learn and I'm in tears like half the time. And I don't want to say the school babies us, but they are very supportive of us. And so I did very well in my midterms. And this month has been interesting because I feel like with November, we are in Mercury retrograde. And I don't think it's not just retrograde. I heard there was some other planets that have been going backwards and some other things. So this whole month I've been fighting illnesses and I've been getting acupuncture, but the acupuncture's brought it out and made it worse before it gets better. So I've had 2 migraines this month, which like never happens. Yeah. So I think energetically, I've been going a lot inwards this month. I'm just trying to just settle back into, we did the midterms. Okay. Now we're going to go into finals come January, but what else do we need to learn? And struggling with migraines, and you can tell with my voice it's a little bit off right now. So I've been fighting a cough for the last, and phlegm, which is one of the 6 evils in TCM, which is fun.
What is TCM?
So it's traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh,
so
okay.
acupuncture is based on the traditional Chinese medicine. So we look at meridian lines and we're looking at how the body functions as a whole. And yeah, it's very interesting because it looks a little bit like Western medicine, but then there's a lot of ancient practices and things that people learned like 3,000 years ago that are starting to come out now. So it's really interesting and seeing like how we all have energy in our body, which as energetic beings, we know, and you guys know about this, but it's stating it about more in like our blood, in just our essence as well. But then in each organ has its own energy.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it feels really good that you're studying something that ancient, so ancient, because it allows you not just to bring forward the things that with the information, the knowledge, but then you get to feel and bring the empathy. And I've had acupuncture done by somebody who is not empathetic and someone who is, and there is a world of difference between the two.
Yes.
So I love that this creates space for your empathy, because knowing you and your chart, I know there is a gigantic portion of you that is super empathetic and intuitive and emotional and nurturing. So we're talking about the moon sign, of course, right? Like your Cancer moon, it's all water,
Yes.
It's all emotion. So when I was walking, I had this download of, man, because you always say I have the polar opposites. I have the Capricorn sun and the Cancer moon, and they're so opposite, and it's difficult to navigate. And I'm like, okay, is that reflected in other areas? And then all of a sudden, it's like, look at her name. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the letters in your name, and I saw them all rearrange, and the word nice is in your name. And then the word not nice is in your name. I'm not even kidding. Like, you possess, and I didn't reuse any letters. It's nice and not nice, which means you have these polar opposites directly in your name. It's so wild that you have these things, like you encompass the entire spectrum. And then I was thinking, okay, so in your life, like you will do something and then it's not the thing. And then you will do something and it's not the thing. And you will have a relationship, but it's not the relationship. Like, I feel like you're constantly like doing the things, because success is in your makeup. Like, you will be incredibly successful. It's a matter of navigating the space between. So I think between nice and not nice, there is a space in between, right? Between the water and the earth, there is a space in between. And I think that when you find that neutral energy, that's where the magic of you happens. So then I'm like, okay, I'm in this neutral energy of Corinne. And then connecting with Corinne came up right there, right smack in the middle of everything. I'm like, oh my God, that is not just the name of your business. That is your mantra for yourself. That's your invitation to come back to yourself. Because if you don't know the nature of who you are, you'll never know when you're not in nature with yourself, like when you're going against yourself. And that's why the experimenting keeps coming up. It's wild.
I think it's just trying to find that path, right? Because I think for me, I'd always wanted to be a police officer and working in that realm of work, and not knowing my personality type at the time, I realized after having worked with Calgary Police Service as a civilian and working in some other, I guess, law enforcement environments, because I worked by law at one point, I realized afterwards, I was like, looking at my personality chart, I'm like, oh, I don't work well in paramilitary. I will tell them off and tell them, I'll question. And I don't question to question authority. I question because I want to know what's in my scope of practice. What's in my realm? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Are we allowed to actually ticket people for sound or noise bylaws and stuff like that when we haven't even used the noise machines properly? And stuff like that, right? And so when I would ask these questions, it came across to all my managers and my bosses was like, oh, she's just being a black sheep. She's just questioning authority. She doesn't want to do her job. I'm like, no, I do. I want to know because the public's going to come up to me and ask me these questions. So I want to be informative of what I'm doing. And even like with the police service, it was the same thing. Like you got these people who are in these positions that think they know what I'm doing. And I'm like, I know my job. You don't know my job. I'll tell you my job. And by just telling them, just to inform them of what I'm doing, I'm challenging their authority. And it just didn't do well. And then after I left, then I did personality tests and I was like, oh, I don't do well in paramilitary organizations. Funny how that works.
Funny.
I think the whole key to military and police is to not question authority. Just follow orders, and that's it. And they don't appreciate wasting time having to explain things.
No.
That is a waste of time.
Yeah. But then I got into the yoga and the healing and the fitness and helping people, because that was the whole goal. Like, regardless of what I do with policing, I wanted to help people. Right. And I wanted to help people and help make the city safe. And even with bylaw, it was like, I wanted to help I was the babysitter of the city. So I was joking.
Before you said that, I was going to say, I think the common theme for you is always wanting to help.
Yeah.
Always wanting to help. And then you're like me too, where you and I both try and figure out different things and see what works.
Yeah. And then you figure out what makes me happy, what brings me joy. And I liked my job with Calgary Police Service. I didn't like the politics, and that's what ended up breaking me. And that's why I left. It's always just trying to help people. And it's funny, Caddy, that you said you did this download today for walking. I actually did a meditation today, this afternoon, and it was like just cutting. Like I was in this cave, and I was like in this like little fetal position. So it was almost like, I guess now that retrograde has ended, we're now in this new cycle, and December is like a whole new month, right? Of let's just get rid of this shit. Let's start like afresh before we even start with January. So yeah, I was in this little cave and I was in like a fetal position, and I'm just like, I'm cutting out all the cords, all the attachments that don't serve me anymore. And I've been asking for this for a long time, and I don't know why. It's just like I keep getting drawn back to certain things. So I was just like, no, you're going to cut everything out, and now you're going to just start afresh. Let's finish some unfinished things that you like, editing podcasts, because I've got 5 podcast episodes that are almost ready to go. I just have to edit them. And then, so that's the goal for December, is just to get some things completed, start afresh, because we're going to start in the year of the horse for Chinese New Year, which is at the end of January, beginning of February. And the year of the horse is about momentum, going forward, go forth and do things. Whereas I feel like the year of the snake was, I don't want to say withdrawn, but it was a weird year.
Oh, for sure.
For us too, especially because we're in a 12th year cycle, the two of us, because we're 78 babies, everything has been very inward. So the fact that it's a horse year coming up, and we actually get to come out of it now into a first year cycle, it's like the timing is really great. And I know that you've heard us talk a little bit about 3i Atlas and that it's coming, and it will reach us just as winter solstice happens. really think that the emptying and the releasing and the getting rid of the things that are not going to help us in 2026 is so incredibly important. And it's funny that you say that your meditation was in a cave, because when I talk about that space between, dude, I had no idea that Capricorn was a half sea creature.
Sea goat. It's a sea goat. Yeah.
Dude, you have never mentioned that to me. And then I'm like, wait a minute, she should be able to navigate the waters and the land, because technically your animal is both. I'm like, oh my God, like you having the Cancer moon can't possibly be as difficult as people tell you it should be, because you have the equipment to navigate it. You know, you're half fish. You're meant to be in the water. And like the space in between, like everything that you are, all of a sudden it started to click. I'm like, my God, you're like, you are fully equipped to navigate absolutely everything. That space in between is so beautifully neutral for you. And when you're, the thing with the neutral space is that you will always get pulled into the positive. When you're in neutral, you can never get pulled into negative. You will automatically, if you allow, you'll just flow forward into positive. And then I'm like, okay, so then the space between would be the shoreline, right? The land and the sea would be the shoreline. So yes, you can retreat into your cave and do the care, because it's all about the nurturing with Cancer, right? It's, you have to be able to feel safe and secure. It's about your home and your environment. And then you can emerge onto the shore and look into the ocean and look behind you to the land. Like you're in this beautiful position to navigate both. I think that's so perfect for you. Did you know that I think all the elements are in your name too? Like when I was looking, I did a deep dive on you.
My goodness. It's some Corinne stalking here.
Air is, of all the elements, air is right there in your name. You can't even, of all the elements, that's the clearest, was air. But then I also saw, hold on a second here, because then I saw seer, and that would be the heat, because I was desperately looking for fire. I'm like, how can I find fire? And then there it was, seer. An acorn, the word acorn. You're this beautiful acorn that can just, there's endless potential. It's ridiculous. But that's like that earthy. And then the water is there anyway, because the word corn and can is in your name. Your parents were like really dialed in when they came up with your name.
Canned corn is delicious.
No, can for Cancer, corn for...
Oh, sorry.
The canned corn is delicious, yes.
I was picturing the water that's in the can of corn.
That's so funny.
Helpful.
I have just ruined everything. But one of the things that I thought was very interesting was what you were talking about with the neutrality. To me, that's not an easy thing to do, is to stay neutral.
No, it was really hard.
But you think that this is one of the keys for Corinne, is to be in that neutral zone.
I think that anytime you're pulled too much to a label of good or bad and you're looking for the neutral, that's where the connecting with the Corinne mantra comes in. Okay, how does connecting with me, if I can connect with myself, can I feel the neutral? Because that's the only way you possibly can.
And it's funny you talk about that, because in Chinese medicine and in philosophy, we look at the yin and the yang. And the yin is the dark, the yang is the light, right? And when you see the circle and you see that balance and you see the white really big at one point and then the dark really big, but then there's that peace in the center where that's neutral. And that's really like where we want to be in this stasis of like homeostasis, right? And that's how you feel energetically, but that's also how your body is happy. When your body is in homeostasis, you're in your like most health. But usually we're a little bit more yang or a little bit more yin, depending on the season, but also depending on your person and your constitution. So sometimes we have what we call, we're either yang excess or yin excess. And sometimes we have empty heat, empty cold, full heat. And that's when things happen, because we're not in that perfect balance. Yeah, I think it's perfect, because I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. And I did an archetype actually on the elements, and I still have to, like, I sent it to you, Alex, but I don't think you filled it out yet, but I'll send it again.
I keep forgetting, but
it's okay.
It's almost, for me, because I always talk about being a perfectionist, and it's almost like that neutrality is perfection, that oneness. It's such a fine sliver that
it is. We're
working so hard to achieve that. Yeah, that's interesting. So how do you stay there? How do you stay there for more than just a sliver of time?
And that's the thing. I had another walking meditation last week, I think, and all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to say it's gray, but that's how it was presented to me. It was just this beautiful grayness. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm in neutral. And
No,
they
you
allowed me to
are.
feel it. I'm like, oh, because I'm a feeler. Like for me, if I can feel it, I understand it. I'm like, wow, what a gift that I got to feel what it is to be neutral. Now, when I'm in a situation where I'm like one way or the other too much, I'm like, how do I bring it back to that feeling of being neutral?
And when you are in grayness, that is the neutral. That is the balance. That's like homeostasis.
Right? I had no idea it was gray.
It would make sense, right? Because, like I said, in Chinese medicine, you have the light and the dark. So then what makes gray? Black and white mixed together.
Right?
That's true.
It's true.
What?
What? Right?
Oh, man. What else
And
you
then
got?
Wow, just like that.
Yeah. I want more. I want more.
Okay, fine.
More of this download.
I pulled a card, and I usually pull a card for anybody that comes on, but then it was like, oh, one's not enough, and then I had to pull three. So there you have it. The very first card right away they gave me was the Ten of Pentacles, and I'm like, wow, what a crazy card. Just we're gonna hit it right there. Ten of Pentacles. Success. Just like that. Because that's the family, but that is Capricorn providing for Cancer. Like Capricorn is the ambitious doer. We're gonna take care of you so that so that Cancer feels safe to be in the feeling, right? I'm like, oh, that is
Yes.
so perfect. And that's where the balance is. That's where the harmony is. And then I had this thing that came in. It was prepare for its arrival through positive energy. Prepare for its arrival. So how perfect. We're going into winter solstice. We know there are blessings coming. And all you have to do is prepare. That's all you have to do. Just prepare in positivity. Which honestly, since the last time we talked, I can already feel that there's so much more positivity to your energy. Like it feels lighter.
I think
Yeah.
that preparing in the cave, Corinne, in your meditation, I think that's appropriate.
I think it was, like I said, just getting rid of some of this stuff. And where was I watching it, or who was I talking to? I can't remember. But anyway, the point is it was like, we just need to be lighter. Find that love. Find the lightness. Oh, you know who I was talking to? I think it was Shannon. So we were talking about like the 3D and the 5D right now. And I feel like since September, I've been in this weird realm of, I can see my life in like this bliss of 5D. And I think it is still this reality, but the 5D is all about love and light and living in that, like that, I guess, form. I don't know what other word to say. But then the 3D is just, it's the fear, it's the anger, it's all the shit that's happening right now, like in the media. So it's like, I'm not listening to the media, I'm not reading news or anything like that. I'm really just trying to be mindful of what I'm trying to consume. Instagram's like the worst though.
Unless
But
you got a great algorithm with lots of dogs.
sometimes my algorithm is on point and I get like the funniest things that come out onto my algorithm and then I share it all. But then there's days where it just makes me sad and lonely and like, oh, I'm sad and lonely now. But now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to cut off all the shit that I don't need in my life, like all that negative, and start living into what I want for this 5D realm. And it starts with me, right? So it's okay, just live with the love, with the light, with knowing that good things are happening. And it's like, I'm on my path again. And it's every time I go to, like, I should just be like a full-time student for the rest of my life because it makes me happy. And if I could get paid to be a student, like I always joke, that would be like my best job ever.
They're called professors.
No, but like you could have like, they used to have like students audit professors and stuff, but I don't think they were ever paid. But if that could be a paid gig, I would do it in a heartbeat.
You know what? You said it already. You have found your community. You have found your people. Just because it's in the institution of school doesn't mean that the next environment will be the exact same thing in your professional environment where you're creating a space of healing and nurturing and care. But I feel like there's some kind of, I feel like you are actually more in a leadership position. Like, yes, you can do the acupuncture, but I feel like you would also do really well at just taking care of a group of people who are also doing the same thing. I think that you'd be so great as a leader.
Oh, thanks.
The other thing, the mantra that came in for that particular card was "I am worthy." So just to keep, when you're in your cave, just to keep saying "I am worthy."
I'm worthy.
Because you even started this podcast saying, "Oh no, I'm dumb." I'm like, wait a minute, that's a terrible way to start.
It did take us 10 minutes to get the audio set up, so.
Matter the worthiness.
It's like we've never podcasted before in my life.
Jeez, Aloo.
But I'll say this, Corinne, it must be a Mercury thing because the last few podcasts or meetings I've had, honest to God, nothing worked. And I would just make the joke, oh, this is the first time I'm ever using Zoom or a microphone. It's because it was just that ridiculous. Nothing was working.
Blame Mercury retrograde. Poor Mercury.
I will. I blame Mercury for problems.
But it's true.
I'm not accountable for anything.
No. But it's true though. Like the electronics, all of it, it always happens during Mercury retrograde.
Oh, Sandy
it's a
would
weird
get
energy
mad because she's like, you should not blame things on Mercury retrograde. It's slowing down for your benefit. It's unplugging your electronics for your benefit.
It is. It's true. I know. And when I was saying that, I was thinking of Sandy as well. She's gonna get so mad. But
We must bring her back on.
Okay, card number 2 was the Ace of Cups.
ooh.
And I really love this for you because it was your emotions are powerful magic, which I mean, I think honestly, when I sit and think about you and your energy, I never pick up Capricorn, not ever. Like right away, I'm just like right to your heart. I'm like, I know you as a really nurturing, loving, like when you talk about living in the 5D, you would have no problem just flipping that switch. As soon as you get your worthiness shit done, like just to flip the switch and live in love would be so natural for you. That is your natural state of being. And I know that because I feel it on you. You are that much love. It's crazy. I love that I know you more as the Cancer because it's such a beautiful energy, but I also know that you are going to take care of that because of the Capricorn. The sun is serving the moon. It's a really beautiful balance. But also, self-acceptance was the mantra that came in for that one. So the worthiness and then the self-acceptance that I love me exactly for who I am. And the more I was in the energy of your name and the sea goat and everything, I'm like, oh my God, like I would love to be you. It's fabulous.
I think
you say that, but then I joke, I'm like, nobody wants to be this.
Not true.
one of the things that I went out for drinks with the other night, one of the things that came full circle was the mission of learning to love yourself unconditionally. And if you can master loving yourself unconditionally, you can go out into the world and basically create the reality that you want. You will attract those things. I was like, holy smokes. As I was getting the words out, I'm like, man, we should be recording this for the podcast because everybody talks about in a religious aspect, like God loves you unconditionally. But really, there's all these conditions on that. If you kill somebody, God doesn't love you anymore and blah, blah, blah. I think that deep down, everybody needs to know that loving yourself unconditionally is where it all starts and ends. That's like the biggest piece of the puzzle.
Definitely.
That was huge for me. That was very huge.
It's funny you were saying that because I was watching some podcasts today and it was actually Stephanie McMahon. She's been doing some podcasts with some of the wrestlers and they were talking about loving their kids unconditionally, and that's the sense of love. But then I was thinking about it because she had interviewed, or I saw a John Cena interview and he's, I don't want kids. And he had his reasons, and it was interesting because I want to love myself unconditionally and like respect that. And I was just like, that's what we all need, is you talk about loving another being unconditionally, but in order to do that, you actually have to do that for yourself, because if your cup isn't full, how can you take care of your kids? And yes, you can do the best you can with what you have. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's kids, pets, whatever, even your relationships. It's if I can't take care of myself and be self-aware, how can I take care of anybody else? How can I love anybody else?
I actually don't think you're supposed to love other people unconditionally. There's conditions on everything, even your kids. Like if your kid's this murderous psychopath that kills 100 people, and are you gonna still love them the same way? I don't know. I hope I never have to face that. But we have all these conditions on love. If my wife cheats on me, then that's it. The bond is broken, and that's not unconditional love. That's a big condition of my love.
You know what's funny is that I was thinking, because one of my questions for both of you would have been, what is your nature? That's a hard question to answer because you really need to know yourself really well to be able to sit just like that, to tell me, what is your nature? And for me, I thought, okay, the first thing that pops into magic. My nature is magic. I love the magic. But then I went off on this tangent right away. I'm like, I wish that I would have said love. I wish I would have said unconditional love. I didn't grow up, like love in my family when I was little was conditional. And approval was conditional. And joy was conditional. I met him at 15 because he provided unconditional love. That was the mirror. I didn't know what it was. I don't know what the energy of that was before I met him. And he was my mirror of that. I'm like, I only know about unconditional love because of him. And so there's purpose in him being in my life. And that was the required mirror. And that's my life lesson. My major life lesson is unconditional love and knowing what that is and experiencing it. Because once I can do that, then I can give that to others as well.
Yeah, I basically only have one condition, so.
Pleasure?
No, I'm just put it on like the dating resume. The number one thing I want is loyalty. If I can have a partner that is loyal to me, then the rest is absolutely no problem. She can have everything of me, from me, whatever. She can have everything. As long as the loyalty thing that's the foundation. If that's broken, then the rest gets broken.
But your life lesson is unworthiness or worthiness, right? So for me to be loyal to you means you're worthy of that. Like you're worthy of devotion.
And I would say that one of my big life lessons right now is this aha moment of, oh my goodness, like the worthiness will come when I start to unconditionally love myself. When I can forgive myself, when I can stop talking negatively to myself, having these crazy thoughts in my mind that almost feel like they're not mine. Once I can rid myself of that kind of thing and go out into the world and just expect goodness, expect good things to come, I think I will have mastered life.
It's interesting you say that, Alex, because as you were talking about that, I was just thinking like Mel Robbins has always said, look for the hearts in life. And it's just like, you're just looking for the goodness. And we rewire our brain because it's like, if you're thinking, for example, of, oh, my next car is going to be a BMW, for example, right? All of a sudden you start to see all these BMWs in front of you. It doesn't mean that there's more BMWs out there. It just means now your brain is wired to see that. So it's trying to so what you have to do is rewire our brain to then start looking for hearts and love and joy. And by doing that, then we can start to see the small things that we've been ignoring because we're so ingrained into looking at negative shit. Like we get fed it through Instagram, Facebook, even like comments, it's just all negative. So don't even look at the algorithms or anything because it's like, it's all negative, right? So we have to like really be mindful of if it's positive, then I will read it. Or if it's positive, or I'm looking for the hearts, or I'm looking for the joy, then I'll start to incorporate that. And maybe it's just like, we just have to get off the phones and get off the Instagram and Facebook and social media and all this other stuff and just really go back to finding things that bring us joy and doing those and being with people who light us up and say, I can't be around negative people. Or if they are negative, it's okay. Just take a breath and be like, that's who they are. I can't change them, but I can react differently.
And that's part 2 to that is the reaction. If you're wanting the BMW more than anything and you start to see it everywhere, if your response to that is, I'm really pissed off that there's everybody else out there who has the BMW. Who am I? What am I going to get? It's in your reaction to it.
Yes.
If you're looking for love and when you see love presented in front of you and your reaction is, I hate that. I'm looking away. How dare they? Why not me? You're setting yourself up not to receive that thing that you actually really want. So the reaction is part 2 to look for the love.
It is.
It's part of the test.
Definitely.
It's definitely part of the test.
And it's interesting now because like I'm still like when we first started the podcast like last year we were talking about like me being single and dating. Fun fact, nothing's changed. It's the dating scene has gotten even worse. I've tried a couple apps. I last for like maybe 5 days. Like I just can't handle them. I've done a couple in person or IRL in real life events and they're just as bad.
I just think it's the season of Corinne. I think that you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
And we talked about that last year too, that there was a time, this is the time now to go inward. And I was thinking about that too, because we did talk about it. And it's okay, but then when is it time? When am I ready? Like, it's always because you do want love. You do want that. And that's a total Capricorn thing too, to go out there and find the support to help you climb the mountain and all the things. And I think that you're there. And it's a matter of just not approaching it ever. It's the reaction. Don't ever approach it in the desperation, or like just be in the neutral zone. What if you went to another dating event in that neutral zone? You would have no expectation except just to be open, just receive.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Corinne, but when we went to pitch a friend night and I dressed up nicely and I went to go pitch Corinne, I was in the neutral zone, and every probably other single woman at the event was coming up and talking to me. I'm like, I'm married, leave me alone. I was just joking. I'm like, if I was there and Corinne was pitching me, I'd be nervous. I would not be in the neutral zone, and I would be repelling every possible person. I'm like, oh man, the neutral zone.
The neutral zone.
No, you're right. The neutral zone. I don't know. I just feel like so many people right now are just in this weird, you're trying to talk to people in real life, and I don't know. And plus I'm picky. I'm really picky.
That's good. You should
moment.
be picky.
Yeah. I'm at the point where I joke, I'm like, I'm almost racist. I'm like, I don't like these people. I'm being racist and stereotypical, and it's not, I don't know. I'm definitely not as open as maybe I should be, but at the same time, no, I know what I want at this point, and I'm just going to do me now. Because I got to that point where I'm like, you know what? None of these apps are really working. I can only stay on them for like maybe 5 days, if that. And the conversations are so painful. But then you talk to people in real life, you're like, this isn't much better. Come on. And I think the thing is, like, for me, you talk about you want somebody who shows you the worthiness or like the unconditional love. And I want that fuck yes energy of somebody being like, oh my God, I want to be with you. And yeah, and I'm not going to settle. Because like I've talked to a couple guys and we've talked about this off podcast, but there was one guy I was talking to at this one party for singles, and yeah. And I said, well, do you want to exchange numbers? Just add me on Instagram. Like, okay. But then I did. Then he didn't add me back. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm deleting you. But it's even like I just did a tantra dating event. It was very interesting. I did have a couple matches, but again, it's no one's emailing each other. And it's if they really liked me, they would take the steps. And I liked them as maybe friends. I don't know. Like it was not definitely, there was nothing there, like no sparks or anything like that.
Everything seems like such a game. Oh, you have to wait X number of days before you can reply, or you have to say the right things. I'm like, holy smokes. The first thing I would do is throw all that out the window and just be like, I don't care. Just going to be a regular person or be me. And if I ruin it, I ruin it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I was looking, it was like on an Instagram post that popped up on my feed, and they were talking about like the different types of love back in the day. So they're like, in the 1920s, no one had phones, right? Like hardly anyone had a phone. You had to meet somebody by a tree, and you're like, or you wrote them love letters. And I'm like, that's what I want. Like, how have we become so disconnected now? And even back like when I was like 90s child, you wanted to quote unquote date with someone, like you actually had to phone their house. It wasn't even like you're phoning like a device. It was, I'm phoning their house. Maybe I'll talk to them. Maybe I'll get their mom, right? Or their dad. And it's so nerve-wracking. And you're like, do you want to go on a date? And then you'd have to get your mom or your parents, like, or you walk to the mall. Do you hope that they come and not stand you up?
It's more of a buy-in. You have to show up with way more courage and strength and conviction. And you have to be willing to go through all the gatekeepers, the mom and the phone. What if they're on the internet and you get the busy signal? And like, there were things that was like, no, I really want this. I am showing up fully for this. So you're right. How do you find that now when it's so easy and you don't even have to really be present to send a text?
No. And that's the hard part, right? Because then you have these conversations and it's just like very either superficial, or if there is a little bit of a connection, it's okay, when do you want to see each other? Then it's crickets, and it's, I'm not doing a and there's now the word situationship. And so what the fuck is that? Like, why what is this? And people are like, I don't want to be like labeled as a relationship. But it's if you're seeing someone and you're like dating them, right? You're dating. Let's not go into this other stuff.
There's so many good things about the old ways of doing stuff that people are just trying to reinvent or try and make something better, and with good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. They don't realize that all the crap that they think is going to be great is actually just complicating things and making it worse. Just go back to the way it was, the old ways, and it'll be simple, more effective, and better. Done. Well, I sound like an old man. I don't care.
No, but you're right, because I feel like even with, we can go into like non-monogamy and polyamorous and all that stuff, and it's more acceptable now, but then at the same time it makes it so much more complicated, because now you've got more people in that relationship, and if people can't communicate to begin with, then it's just going to become a disaster.
Oh, it's
more so
guaranteed to be a disaster.
And I feel like people just want an easy out now. And I think maybe that's why we have these situationships and maybe more open relationships, because we're like, okay, I can have my partner, I can still have somebody on the side, I can technically love more than one person, which I don't necessarily disagree with. You can have these easy outs a little bit more. It's okay, it's not working with my partner, so maybe I go with the person that now I'm plan B. Yeah. Or like there are people who do thruples and stuff like that, and good for them. But again, it's like these, I don't know, weird situations.
I guarantee you, I will say it on the record, I guarantee you that every thruple out there is never going to make it to their 50th anniversary. Ever. Sorry, thruples. This is how you do it. This is how you get to 80 years. Being loyal to each other. Thruples, you're done. You'll make it to maybe 5 or 10 if you're lucky.
It's interesting because I know people who were in monogamous relationships and then they went polyamorous and then they're now back to monogamous, or they're trying. And I don't know, it seems maybe there is something to be said just about a monogamy, or I don't know. Some people, I feel like I think it just depends on the situation and on people, but it's messy right now.
Yeah.
But I think also people are just messy. Like we've gone through 5 years ago, we went through something crazy and it divided a lot of people. And now I think there's always divisiveness between people or religions or whatever. And
most people are stupid. Most people are really stupid. That's what we found out 5 years ago.
And I think we also found out that it's like people don't know how to deal with it was traumatic, right? It was something no one's ever really experienced before, so it's traumatic. And I feel like we don't talk about the psychological effects of what happened with everyone. And I feel 5 years later, we're now seeing unhinged people in so many ways. And can we blame the pandemic? I think we can blame like they've emotionally and mentally messed us up, and I think just overall in general people just didn't deal with it well. And I think we're 5 years later now we can see like repercussions of people's mental health and mental emotions and stability. And I feel like a lot of people aren't able to handle their emotions, or are in these weird, I guess this is why they're wanting to do situationships, because it's better to feel stable than stableness.
Yeah, you're right. People are messy right now. And I think that's part of the gift of 2026. I don't feel is going to be as messy. I think now we're really rebuilding, redefining, and lightening and lifting and awakening and all the things. But there's that space right now where we're finally going inwards. There's the bridge between this year and next year, and the winter solstice, I really think, is going to be that bridge that kind of pushes us over into the next thing. So these 3 cards that I pulled for you, I think are actually going to be really beneficial to all of us, where we are dealing with worthiness, self-acceptance, and then the last card that I pulled was 9 of Pentacles. And the thing that came through for the 9 of Pentacles was bringing your being into balance. Like you are reaping the rewards of the things that you have sown. Like you are stepping into something that is going to be so beautiful and abundant right? You have to let go of the things that don't serve. You're smarter. You already know. You know these things, right? So you're bringing it all into balance. All the experiences, they were all for your benefit. Let's take out the label of that was a shit experience. No, that was, yeah, okay, there was a hard experience,
Yes.
but it was for my benefit because now I'm bringing everything into balance and I love myself unconditionally and I'm worthy of 2026 and the beautiful person I'm becoming.
Yeah. And like I said, with 2026, it's the year of the horse. So it's like being that, right? And getting that momentum and going. And I feel like acupuncture and TCM and all this stuff, it's like, this is the next step. This is the next chapter. And it's okay. How do I learn about creating health and living like more of a healthy lifestyle through TCM and herbs and acupuncture points and all the things? And it's like, hey, I've got phlegm in my throat. Where's that coming from? And what's out of balance? What's what chi in my, which liver or spleen or it probably lungs is unhappy. But then it's interesting because each organ is paired in different ways. So you have your heart is related to your like small intestine. Lungs are related to your large intestine, right? And so each organ is paired. So if there's a off balance in one organ, there's probably an off balance in another.
And that makes sense. All of the intestinal things that I've been going through in the past few years, and then all of a sudden now there's fluid around my heart, and all of a sudden I have to have the cardiologist call and us. What is happening? But if they're related, if they're paired up, then I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And don't worry about me. She's got plenty of life insurance, so I will be taken care of.
Lord. Wow.
We're prepared.
Yeah.
Aww.
I'm not prepared for you being gone, but I will be on a cruise.
Without me.
That's Alex's thing. He was asking what the cruise is. I think you guys should go. It'll be fun. And a Black Friday sales. So you can probably get a good cruise at a good price.
I'm a bad traveler. I come so unhinged that I'm actually almost afraid to bump it up to the next level of taking the land out from beneath my feet. I would be a wreck.
I should probably just go by myself on an expedition.
Yes.
And then I'll come back and I'll let you know how it is.
Go in a neutral zone.
Yes, I'll do a senior citizen cruise. It'll be nice and peaceful.
No, dude, you have to do a fun cruise. Do a fun
I'll just
cruise.
go with your parents, Corinne. It'll be the best time ever. We'll just talk shit about you the whole time.
Oh my goodness. So
Wow.
funny.
There you go. We have brought it full circle with Corinne being our first guest, now the last guest of season 2.
Yes, and we want to thank you, and we want everybody to check out Connecting with Corinne Podcast Extraordinaire.
There's not much that's out there right now, but there will be new episodes coming soon. I just have to edit them, but I've got
Fun.
some really good guests coming up. Yeah.
We appreciate you spending some time with us, and obviously we'll see you in real life too.
Yes, always.
IRL.
IRL, the IRLs.
Yeah. We're going to see everybody on the next episode, and keep living your genius. Until next time, everyone.